Today, we get to hear from a listener. So in her words, we get to hear a question that I believe many of you will resonate with. I know when I first started setting boundaries, this was a big problem that I ran into again and again and again. And so I'm going to share with you her voicemail, and then I'm also going to tell or explain to you how I have learned to tweak how I communicate boundaries with these types of people in my life.
Hello, I am loving your channel. I've been working at this boundaries thing for years and I still get stuck. So I really appreciate the examples and the ideas you share. My question has to do with giving explanations to the other person as to why you need to draw the boundary, sort of explaining your own situation, your own needs. I love how that sounds when you do it, and it seems like it is good for relationships. But my experience is that when I give explanations, there are many who take that as an open door for them to introduce their own solution to my problem, something different than the boundary I want to set. If I give a reason, they think then that it's their business to find some other way to answer that issue, and then it becomes me having to verbally defend my own needs, which I am not good at. So my method has become to not give reasons, but in many of your examples, it seems helpful when you do give reasons. So I am beginning to recognize that there are some people in my life that it is helpful for me to explain reasons. And I'm starting to know who the others are that I know good and well if I give an explanation, they'll just slap right back with, well, you can do such and such. So I do read the relationships regarding how much to explain. I just wondered if you have any other guidelines on when it is appropriate to explain your boundaries and when it is.
First of all, Michelle, I just want to say how proud I am of you for learning just how to set boundaries, what they are, and just doing it. It's so hard and uncomfortable and messy in the beginning. It's kind of like when you learn how to water ski and the boat is just taking off and you're trying to figure out how to stand up and you're swallowing half the lake. You're wondering, is this even worth it? And then bam, all of a sudden you're above the water and suddenly things just feel a lot smoother. That is until you run into takers in your life. And that's what you're weeding out. You're weeding out the people who respect you and the people who want to take from you. Now, we all have takers. Every single one of us has takers. These are people in our life who get more from us than really we get from them. So it's a one-sided relationship and they hate boundaries because it interrupts what they're getting from you. So instead of respecting your limit, they push back and they try to convince you to change your mind, especially when we give them a reason. I am like Michelle. I often like to give a reason for my boundary. It feels softer. It helps me maintain my relationship, but honestly, it's selfishly for me. I am through and through, I am a people pleaser. And so it just helps me just get a little bit of reassurance for myself. But what I have learned is when somebody argues with me with that reason, that is my light bulb moment that it's oh, you are a taker. And when that happens, I just shift my approach. So let me walk you through an example. Let's just walk through a situation where it involves family dynamics. Let's say your in-laws ask to have your kids over the weekend, but you already have plans, family plans to spend with them after a really busy season. So you're really looking forward to this weekend. And you say, oh, I'm sorry, we already have made plans to spend the entire weekend as a family. If your in-laws respect your boundary, they might respond oh my gosh, of course, family time, you need it, especially after how busy you have been. Enjoy. But if they're takers, they might push back. Oh, couldn't you just change your plans? We don't see them that often. It's just for 2 days. You have Friday night, by the way. At this point, they've completely ignored your boundary. They're trying to negotiate around it to get what they want. And that's when you realize, oh, this isn't about making it work for everyone. This is about making it work for you. So now let me share with you how I adapt my response once I realize, oh, you're a taker. The next time they come over and they ask hey, can we have the kids this weekend? You already have plans. Instead of giving them the reason, this is what I would say. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not going to work for us, but the following weekend does. Would that work for you? That's it. No explanation, no opportunity for them to argue or push back. Well, let's say they do. Let's say they're the type of people that do press. Why not? Why can't we have them? Why can't you move around things? You stay firm. You say, we're just not available that weekend. But again, the following weekend, we are. Want to plan something then? Here's the takeaway, Michelle. You are leaps and bounds ahead of people because you're already starting to distinguish, like, okay, this person respects my limits. This person absolutely will push back, negotiate. They'll try to push through to get their needs met. And so what I'm trying to tell you is keep doing exactly what you're doing. You test the water by giving that first time, like give them that reason the first time. And then as soon as you see them push back and not respect you, that's when they move to the other category. Oh, you're a taker in my life. No problem. Next time you ask me anything, it's just a simple no. Okay, now it's your turn. Have you ever had someone argue with your boundary, especially like family or in-laws, just trying to push through your limits? Like, how do you decide like when to keep it simple and when to give them a reason? Okay, until next time, friend, make sure you keep minding your boundaries. Bye for now.